Good night, everyone. Tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Aaron Just Spiritual Live. We get some news on tonight. First we're gonna start with justice for AJ Owens. AJ Owens, neighbor, accused of shooting. We made numerous. They made numerous of phone calls to the police. But nothing was done because it took them 4 days before they came out and arrested him. So a Florida mother of 4 children, who was shot right in front of her children, as she was defending her children last Friday night, continued to spark calls for justice. Owens' neighbor, Phyllis Will, who a witness, he was a witness, part of the aftermath, saw her laying on the ground, of this tragedy event. Joy Reed to share her account. So the family called for justice. After the neighbor, were arrested in killing, a mom of 4 children right in front of her. Now she was arrested in fatal Florida shooting. Her name was Susan Louise. Was charged of manslaughter with a firearm, assault weapon, negligence and battery, 2 counts, the death of Owens. So it took the police. Took the police 4 days after the incident happened, to come and arrest, Miss Susan Louise. Now she stated she had fear. That's why she did it. That was she said. But AJ Owens, did not have no weapon. And Miss Susan shot Miss Owens through her door. So how she had fear, and though someone was gonna harm her, because she shot the woman through her door. So right in front of her children. So the neighbors said she had fear. Miss Susan said she had fear. That's why she did it. Now she was charged for manslaughter for the firearm. She had 2 counts on. So now the family want justice. Now the family want justify justice. Because her excuse was she had fear. And Miss Owens did not have no weapon. Did not have no weapon, and Miss Susan shot her through the door. So now the family need justification, justice, to prove or show reasonable of her behavior. She said she was being pressured or fear. So I request that the family get justified justice. So I want to give my condolences to all the family. I also want to give my deepest sympathy. Sorry that this happened right in front of her kids. She shouldn't have never had died that way. She only was knocking on the door to get information about her child. And then, she did not give her a chance to speak or say anything because she shot through the door. So I also want to talk about we're having so much chaos at the border. We need a policy. We need a strict policy at the border. Because a legal pathway at the border. Expands legal pathway policy for the border. We need that. So system can be changed. But lives cannot be regained. So we need a policy, with strict rules, at the border. Because, Title 42 had ended. So now, it's overflowing with illegal immigrants crossing the border. So we need a policy to enforce legal pathway at the border, not illegal. So we already have Title 8, enforcement authority at the border allows immigrants, seeking asylum more time to make their request to official, but the measure also carry a civil penalty, including 5 or 10 bans. 10 years of ban, for anyone who is caught repeatedly, trying to enter the country without authorization. So we already have Title A gonna be used at the border also. So enforcement routes, all immigrants have to be legal before crossing the border. One, we would need their information before crossing the border. Because if you crossing the border without leaving, it's like you illegal. Because once you get to the United States, you will need your information to apply for any kind of assistance. So two, you will need an ID or your green card. And all this is before you enter the border, you have to have these things. This could be for the new policy at the border. And three, no accompanied child alone at the border. We had that kind of situation. So four, we're gonna make sure you have all your information, papers, in your ID or your green card before you enter to cross the border. Five, immigrant and refugees, for asylum, apply online or either call. You know, because they have problem there, they're just getting dropped off. In the United States, and your assembly have not kicked in to pay for the hotel or the apartments that you're going to. So you have to make sure all this is done at home. You have to apply online or either call. So six, any other government assistance, you do the same thing. Apply online or either call. So trying to make sure all immigrants are legal before crossing the United States. Because we've been having some illegal immigrants getting to the United States. So I request that Congress pass this bill of policy for the border, legal pathway at the border. Okay, so I talk about Jackson, Mississippi water crisis this morning. So this an update. So Mr. President has signed last year legislation to help stabilize, Jackson drinking water system. Not today, Mr. President Bennett announced the first 115 million, would go to the repairs, the city wall inflation. So trying to ensure every family had access to clean, safe drinking water. So the White House responds to crisis. The city of Jackson, Mississippi. To help repair its broken water system and get that system back up and operating again. So we see that they have FEMA. You have the government step forward to help this emergency crisis. So now you got Mr. Bennett help donate money. You have FEMA coming forward. You have a lot of other sponsors coming forward, paying to help fix this water crisis. Because it's been like this here since last year. So now hopefully this year you have enough money to get it fixed. So everyone can have clean water. So Jackson, Mississippi had been suffering from a series of water outage due to inflation, which had been chronicled unfounded by the state for years. So black residents in the poorest part of the city have been disapproved, affected. So the water had been affected for years. So hopefully this year, it'll be clean and safe and up for running, up and operating. So last year the city water system was taken under federal government, overseen after the Environment Protection Agency had found the city in violation. So of the Safe Drinking Water Action Act. So thank God today that Mr. President, FEMA, and more has stepped forward to ensure clean, safe drinking water. So hopefully, they have enough money. They have enough money to start working on the repairs, and it should be up and running this year. repair. Uh, so we just talk about legal pathway for the immigrant because so many was crossing being illegal, so we needed a policy, at the border because they were just coming through and going to the United States with no information or anything, and the border don't have information because they ain't, you know, was stopping because the Title 42 had ended. So we have they need the information when they at the border. They need their papers, they need the ID, or the green card. No accompaniment is left alone at the border. So before they cross, they will need their papers, information on their papers. They will need an ID or a green card. To cross to the United States. And I had requested that Congress pass this bill policy for the border, a legal pathway at the border. And we just talk about the justice, for AJ. We just talk about we talk about the justice for AJ. So the family won't justify justice because the woman has said she had fear. She had fear, but she shot the woman through the door. Shot the woman through the door right in front of her children. So I had requests, that the family get justified justice. Justified justice to prove, to show responsible of her behavior. Being pressured, saying she being pressured of fear. So the family want justified justice. And I request that they give that. Give them justified justice. Because she have to prove a reasonable, of her behavior of why she shot through that door. It's more than just fear. You know, so and we just talk about the Jackson, Mississippi. Water had been out for a while. So you had Mr. President came up with money, FEMA, and many more sponsors came forward to help to pay to get the repairs fixed for the city water. So it should be up and running. Should be by the end before the end of this year. It should be up and running. It should have clean water, and I pray that they don't have no more problem with the water. So that's all the news I have for you on today. Y'all have a blessed and safe day, and I'll see y'all on the next video.